So I guess I'm going to show you these clouds appearing and disappearing. Those right there above my head, there's none others anywhere else in the sky. You can't see it unless I give you a reference on the horizon. These appear and disappear right over my head, as if being emitted from something behind it. Like these are disappearing. I want to move over to this other one that just appeared right over there. Here's another piece right here that's starting to appear. As this one here is disappearing. And there's something there in the sky that makes them appear and disappear. Almost like exhaust from a ship. You can see that one's almost gone now. It is gone if I zoom away. This one is the one I said I wanted to zoom over to, because as I said I wanted to zoom over to it, it was nothing. It just barely appeared in the sky within the last, like it just formed. I should look for the next one, that way you can actually watch it form. I'm not even sure what to say right now, because I was kind of having a personal one-on-one with the spirit. It's kind of showing me these things just to remind me that it's not all in my head. This stuff is kind of like follows me around. And I don't know, I guess it's too slow of a process to watch it appear and disappear, unless it disappears more quickly. And I didn't zoom over to it right when it appeared, otherwise you'd see that whole cloud just came out of nowhere. Literally, it was not visible, was not there when I first started filming this. And here in another minute or two, it'll disappear. I'm looking around in the sky for another one to appear as that one's fading away. But, whatever it is that produces these, puts them on display for the purpose of being noticed. They don't just randomly happen to be there and you happen to be at the right place at the right time. It's showing itself for the perception of the person who can see it. It's quickly disappearing now. You can see that. Like going, gone. That just barely appeared as I was starting to film. Now that one disappeared quickly enough that you can see, okay, yeah, that did disappear right before our eyes, didn't it? Yes, it did. And it appeared right before my eyes while I was filming the other one. That was my purpose of making this video. Now I don't see another one appearing in the sky just yet straight above my head. But as you can see, there's none others. And when you can watch them appear and disappear right above your head, and you're receiving the impression that this is for you, this is a display being put on for you, for the purpose. Here it goes again. It's reappearing right here. And it's coming into view, coming into view, coming into view. It happens slowly enough that it doesn't make a appearance for the average person out there to be able to see. They don't notice the clouds appearing and disappearing right above their head, because you got to have an attention span longer than a goldfish, and you got to be tuned into the spirit and know that, I guess you just have to know the things I know. And it's there for a reassurance that the things I know are real and true and not all in my head. Otherwise, these things don't just appear and disappear above your head. And UFOs have been reported to have a conscious connection with the observer. Well, I would say that these clouds qualify as UFO. There's another one appearing right above it over here and another one over here. Those are appearing right now as we speak. They weren't there 2 seconds ago. You're watching them form. There's a fourth one over here forming. That one wasn't there a second ago. So whatever's just behind these clouds, it's almost like a ship's up there putting off exhaust. But it controls the exhaust. Here's another one appearing over here. It controls the exhaust. It's not like these things are just randomly appearing out of nowhere. It is intentionally putting them right there for the appearance and the perception of the viewer. A conscious connection with the observer. Here's another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that just appeared right before our eyes. And then they will disappear just as quickly. And there are none others in the whole sky. And then you get people who are like, what the fuck's he doing? Well, it's beyond your perceptual awareness. So, for me to explain some of the things I know to people who don't know what I know, they can't conceive of it. They can't understand it. They can't wrap their mind around it. And if you try, it's outside of their range of perception. They're just going to say, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you think the clouds are following you around, huh? They talking to you, are they? It's not for you. These things aren't just appearing and disappearing right before your eyes while I'm talking about it, showing and telling, because I just get lucky. They're doing that for the observation of it. And to tell this to the average person is likely to get you locked up in a padded rubber room. But guess what? I got a get out of a rubber room free card right behind my ear. That's why I have been more willing and able to speak about these things than the average person would be. Because I ain't afraid of getting locked up in a padded rubber room. I'll just tell them the microchip made me do it. Yeah, it's just the microchip talking. But I know it's not just the microchip talking. I've had enough things happen in my life, like my sister at that AA meeting, where Jason, her boyfriend at the time, she said, oh, he wants to get sober too, on the way into the meeting. I said, ask anyone here about relationships in sobriety. They'll tell you the same thing. If they've been going there a month or two, they've heard everyone say everything there is to say about it. And we get there, and they open the meeting with the standard preamble, and then say, does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about? Dude raises his hand, says, I'd like to talk about relationships in sobriety. She looks at me with an odd look, like, whoa, that's cool. He says, hi, my name's Jason, and I'm an alcoholic, and he starts into his story, and that's the name of Melanie's boyfriend on our way to that meeting that she said he wanted to come too. He just had other things more important to do at the time. She looked at me a second time like, whoa, that's double weird. He brought up the subject, and his name is Jason, and he starts telling his story about him and his girlfriend and their experiences with relationships in sobriety. And he's talking about her, and he references her by name, and he says, I told her Melanie, this, that, and the other. And my sister looks at me, slaps me, and says, that's fucked up. Because her name is Melanie. Her boyfriend's name is Jason, and we had just talked about relationships and sobriety on our way to that meeting. That can't all possibly be coming from the microchip behind my ear, now can it? That is the way God works in mysterious ways, and I've had enough other experiences like that that cannot just be attributed to, oh, you're hallucinating, or you've got something communicating with you through that chip. I've had enough of these experiences that show me it's a lot more than the fucking chip. It is the spirit. And yeah, it speaks to me through a still small voice within. So if you tell people, oh, I'm communicating with aliens through telepathy, they'll say you're crazy. But if you say I'm communicating through the Holy Spirit, hearing the still small voice within from Jesus, who said he's not of this world, oh, praise be upon you, brother in Christ. That's semantics. My point is, I've had enough of these experiences. You're watching this thing appear and disappear right before your eyes above our head. Here's another one. Right here. And there's none others in the whole sky. There's that one over there, and that's it. When these demonstrate a conscious connection with the observer, the average observer is not brave enough to say, yeah, I think these things I'm seeing, there's another one, coincide with the messages I'm receiving. And I hear this still small voice within, and it communicates with me, and it coincides with these other things that I can see in the world around me. They're afraid they'll get locked up in a padded rubber room, or at the very least rejected by their peers. And fear of alienation and rejection is one of our greatest fears. So when these things are coming and going above my head, and again, there's none others. Clear to the other horizon, up, down, it's just right above my head. While I'm sitting here telling you about it, I cannot convey to you the experience that I have. Even if you believe everything I say and you can see the things I'm showing and telling. It still does not convey to you the experiences I have. So here's a couple more appearing right beside it. There's this little one over here and then a little one over here. But what I'm saying, here's another little one appearing over here. As these things appear and disappear, there is a consciousness that coincides with them. Whether it's a spaceship and some V2K technology, voice to skull, that just gives you an ability to conceive of my experience. You're like, oh, okay, voice to skull, that's being transmitted through 5G and some sort of Wi-Fi to that chip in your dome. Gives you a little bit of a doorway of perception to allow yourself to stretch your mind far enough to conceive of such things. But then when you know what I know, like I just explained with my sister in the first meeting, etc., I got some more people coming up behind me, so I should probably wrap it up pretty quick. But I don't give a fuck. That's the thing. I've lost my fear of what will people think of me, and that's what David Icke talks about in the hassle-free zone. What will the guys at work think? What will my friends and family think? So I've exited the hassle-free zone long ago. But I'm going to just let it ride for a minute while these people pass by. I think she's talking on the phone through an earpiece, so that's good. Maybe she's not listening to me. But they see me filming this guy, and they don't even think about it. It's like they're zombies under some sort of fucking remote control. So since these are now disappearing for what, the third or fourth or fifth time during this 12 minutes now of the filming of this video, I think you get the clue, don't you? So before I get, called the cops on me because this guy's filming the sky and there's nothing even up there to film. Hi. There is, but it's got cloaking apparatuses, and only those who have a perceptual awareness and a willingness to believe their own eyes and their own ears and their own internal sensors that pick up on vibratory frequencies that are inaudible, externally inaudible. You can't hear them with your regular ears. I've said that, you know how people talk about opening your third eye? I've talked about how it seems like I've opened my third ear. People are like, oh, you just hear voices. That's schizophrenia. Here, there's quite a few of them appearing over here. So as these things appear and disappear above me, they haven't been appearing anywhere else in the sky all the way around for the 12 minutes we've been filming, but you've watched them appear and disappear. Here, we'll do an overhead also. Overhead. Only right here where I'm filming have they been appearing and disappearing while I've been speaking about them. So this is just to help you with the same understanding that I have. Here, there's another one appearing over here. That it's not the chip and it's not all in my head. And that V2K, 5G shit just gives you a slight ability to even conceive of these kind of things. God uses AI. AI is not more powerful than God. It is a tool. Just like we humans are a tool in God's hand, and God works through us, so it is with AI and 5G and the online. Oh, there's another one appearing over there. That one was not there a few minutes ago. So now we have three here. 1, 2, 3. So don't fear the Reaper. Don't fear the 5G. Know that God is real. And that He works in mysterious ways. And He uses a wretch like me to reach people like you. And I was never the pompous, arrogant, Bible-thumping, spiritual guy running around saying God this and Jesus that. So it came to save the sinners, not the saints. You see how much this one's appeared in the last few minutes? All those little ones that you saw appearing and disappearing, just little spots like this? Here, there's a bigger one for you that just appeared right before our eyes. Is that enough for you to know that what I'm showing you and telling you is real? And that, yes, I'm in communication? I hope so. That one's got a little trailer coming in behind it. And that ain't working too well. There we go. Little trailer coming in behind it. And just to show you again, it's not happening everywhere in the sky like this. Just right here over my head. So when I'm able to coincide the things that I was saying right from the beginning of this video with the things that you see appearing and disappearing in the sky right above you, that should be your clue. I'm not crazy, you're not crazy. The people that can't wrap their mind around this are just choosing not to. This is now 3 over here, and the big one right here. My camera's got some sort of weirdness. I can't get it to zoom in on stuff without glitching out like that and throwing the light off and the color off. So this one's pretty big. This one's like pretty much right in front of me, and it's now grown to quite a size. After appearing and disappearing a bunch of little spots over the first 12 minutes, now we have a rather large one right here and 3 over there. So just soak it in and know that these things are real. And don't let the people around you make you hesitate as to what you know is true and what you choose to pay attention to and believe in, or choose not to believe in and not pay attention to because everyone will think you're crazy. Fuck them. What's real and true is real and true. And it's your desire to be part of the group that makes you decide what to believe and what not to believe. And what will people think of me is the fear of alienation and rejection, the hassle-free zone that David Icke talks about, that is the threshold of whether or not you get to experience these things because you're willing to accept this truth or not. God separates the individuals from the collective. And we got some more people walking up here, so I'll probably just walk my way on past them and go get right under this thing. Because as you can see, it's not going away. It's getting bigger and bigger. And we got people going, what the hell's with the crazy guy? But crazy is a word that normies put on things they don't understand that other people do. And because they can't, because they can't hear it, they can't see it, and they can't understand it, everyone projects their own life experience onto other people. If I haven't seen a UFO or a Sasquatch, then neither have you, and they're not real. So, I guess it's my willingness and ability to exit the hassle-free zone and not give a shit. And I kind of got thrown into this as soon as I found that implant. Everyone alienated and abandoned me, which put me right as a good candidate for all of this stuff. Because now, I don't have that as a fear. So I'm capable of seeing things and saying things that other people are unwilling to. Again, just to give you the wraparound, that one's been there the whole time. It's just right here. And as these things appear and disappear, that's not clouds. Just because the experts and the meteorologists will tell you what they think it is and what they'll tell you it is, you know damn well it ain't. This world's about to change right before our eyes. And hopefully that's what my participation here has done, is give you an ability to participate in this transition. Rather than cling to the old world that you once knew, that world's going, gone. Just like this cloud, about to disappear here within the next couple minutes. I can see it fading already, it seems. Could be the lighting, but I don't think so. But when you know you've watched this one appear and disappear a few times to the point where it does seem like, well, maybe it is kind of interactive and sort of like a exhaust off a craft or something. Then you look at that one over there and you know that's not a cloud, as the weatherman would have you believe. It's more like one of these, whatever that is. Or one of those, whatever that is. But again, it's only those. Like the exhaust off a cloaked craft. I'll just tell these people that I'm filming the beautiful sunset, which I am. along with doing a little show and tell simultaneously. So what if it takes a V shape like a triangle? Kind of like it is. Hey Normie, keep your distance. Crazy guy over here, 5150. So anyway, I'm just kind of hanging out. I got about another 2 minutes worth of memory on this. Hopefully I was hoping this would disappear in the next minute or two. But I don't need it to. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. And I think I'm about done trying to convince and persuade anyone that's not already convinced and persuaded. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Most people don't, and that's okay. Because if most people got through this filtration, then the next world we're going into would be mostly like this world. Most of the people are not supposed to. This is supposed to excommunicate. Most people are not supposed to make it through the filter. At least for the refinement and purification of the consciousness farm that I'm going to, the petri dish that I'm going to be in, is mostly unlike this world. Though the people in it are going to be mostly unlike the people here. But the actual world itself is just like this one. Except with people that are unlike the ones you have to live with right now. So you can see this one has faded for the most part. It's shrinking quickly. Going, gone. But I don't think it's going to disappear entirely before the memory runs out. We're at 22 minutes now. And I think this camera cuts it at like between 22 and 24 minutes. My point is, these things are conscious, interactive, and they're not clouds. And it's not just the chip and the 5G. It's not just V2K. It's all of the above. Lose your grip in order to be able to grasp the world we're going to. Because if you don't, if you can't, it's going to be a rough ride. Trying to hang on to the world you once knew. And that's what most people are doing, and they have a dissociative identity disorder. Because in order to stay associated with the world that they've always known, they have to disassociate with the unknown that's coming into our world rapidly, more and more every day. So just let it ride, man. Let it ride. And know that if you're one of the few who's being separated from the rest and shown things that no one else can see, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Tell them, you think I'm crazy? You fucking go listen to this guy Jeff, man. That guy is batshit crazy. Because I got that get out of a padded rubber room free card implanted behind my ear. So I'm not afraid to say shit that other people are afraid to say. Okay? And that one that's been hanging there the whole time, not a cloud. This thing is just about gone. I'm not sure if it's the lighting that's disappearing or the cloud or which is fading quicker. But you can see that it's pretty much gone. But yeah, it's more like exhaust. And it doesn't just happen randomly. It's intentionally. They can maintain a complete disappearing act, or they can reveal incrementally to varying degrees. But when those dragon clouds come out of the sky, like Taylor Swift showed you in the music video Me, be still, know that I'm God. Probably some real good advice. And we'll call that a wrap.